Taurus, feel the weight of this moment. It is not just another day in the calendar, not just another whisper lost in the wind. The stars have been shifting, moving with divine urgency, carving out a path through the fog of your recent past. And now, the sky is wide open, pouring down truths you can no longer ignore. You are not here by accident. This message has reached you because your soul is ready. The month of May brings with it not only the blooming of flowers, but the blossoming of revelations. On May 12th, 2025, the full flower moon in Scorpio rises like a sentinel of shadows, illuminating what has been hidden, suppressed, or twisted by deceit. This moon, vibrating with the intensity of Scorpio's transformative power, targets your seventh house, the realm of partnerships, commitments, and hidden enemies. It exposes veils and reveals the true faces behind familiar masks. For you, Taurus, this lunar surge will strike like lightning in your emotional core. You may feel it first as unease, a whisper in the background, a sudden tear, or a memory that stings unexpectedly. But what follows is clarity, long awaited and divinely timed. Taurus, if these words are already resonating with the deep truths in your soul, don't walk this path alone. Subscribe to this sacred space where your transformation is seen and honored. And let the universe hear your voice. Leave a comment below declaring what this message awakens in you. You are not just watching a video, you're answering a divine call. This full moon is not gentle, it is ruthless in truth, and yet deeply sacred. It comes in direct opposition to Uranus, who still dances fiercely in your sign. The energy here is electric, and for those who have dared to walk the path of avoidance, denial, or illusion, this moon will not be merciful. But you, child of Earth, have endured. You've cried alone under silent skies, watched doors shut that should have opened, and felt love twist into distance without cause. These were not failures. These were divine rehearsals. And now, the final act begins. You are being summoned to shed the old skin, but not as an abandonment of who you are. No, this is an emergence. The self that is breaking through is the one you've always carried within. The healed you, the luminous you, the one that can no longer be silenced. The universe has watched long enough. The karmic weight that others placed on your shoulders is no longer yours to bear. A powerful conjunction between the Sun and Uranus on May 17th is already brewing its force. This is the moment when the unexpected becomes the necessary, when lightning strikes not to destroy, but to ignite. If you've been afraid of change, prepare yourself now, for this alignment brings sudden liberation. Old identities, outdated beliefs, toxic connections, whatever has limited your expansion, will begin to crumble. This is Uranus speaking through fire. You will be free, Taurus, whether you are ready or not. And just a day later, on May 18th, another ancient force shifts. Rahu and Ketu, the north and south nodes of the moon, cross into new positions. These shadow planets are not visible, but their influence is undeniable. They rule karma, fate, and the ties between your past lives and this one. Their transit marks a new karmic chapter that will unfold until December 2026. This is not just an astrological event, it is a spiritual reset. Whatever patterns have looped in your life, repeating heartbreaks, recurring betrayals, stagnant dreams, they are now being rewritten, but only if you're willing to confront them. These aren't just planetary transits, they are celestial decrees, and your name is written within them. There is a woman. Yes, a woman cloaked in false light, someone whose presence has contaminated your peace, who has smiled while poisoning your path. This full moon will begin to expose her, the lies she spun, the manipulations she wove, the curses she whispered in the dark. None of them will remain hidden. The very shadows she conjured will now devour her illusion. Justice, real and divine, is not delayed. It is underway. But this message is not about her. It is about you. You who bore the silence. You who held your heart together with invisible thread. You who walked away without vengeance, choosing stillness over screams. The heavens have noticed. Your name has been spoken in the chambers of angels, and now Archangel Michael descends, his sword ablaze, not to grant you power, but to remind you that it was always yours. What has been denied to you, respect, recognition, healing, love, returns with sacred acceleration. This isn't about revenge, this is about restoration. Taurus, the next days will begin to feel strange. You might sense it in your body. A deep fatigue followed by moments of inexplicable energy. You may dream vividly or feel pulled to places and people without understanding why. Follow those instincts. The divine is guiding you. Your intuition is sharpening. The illusions that clouded your clarity are being burned away. This transformation is not gentle, but it is holy. This path you're stepping into was not given lightly. It is the result of all you've endured. You did not crumble. You evolved. And now, as the universe rearranges itself to honor your resilience, do not shrink. Do not second-guess your worth. Do not negotiate your light. You are not the same Taurus who once begged for breadcrumbs. You are the Taurus who walks with thunder beneath her feet, and the world is about to see it. Taurus, now that the veil has been lifted and the celestial machinery is in motion, we enter the heart of your transformation. You must understand, what you are experiencing is not merely personal, it is cosmic. You are not healing a single wound, you are correcting a lineage. You are not just reclaiming your peace, you are rewriting the destiny of your soul. Everything that has been stripped from you through betrayal, neglect, envy, was seen not by human eyes, but by the guardians of truth, by the divine intelligence that watches silently but never forgets. You see, the universe does not forget sincerity. It does not overlook those who love without calculation, those who give without seeking applause. And you, Taurus, are one of those rare beings whose silence has echoed louder than the noise of your accusers. You must remember this: divine justice is not loud. It is precise, it is relentless, and it has begun. As the flower moon fades and the light of your awareness sharpens, you may start to witness a reversal in your reality. People who once walked away from you confused or misled begin to feel the magnetic pull of your healing aura. They may not know why. They may not be able to articulate the guilt that wakes them in the middle of the night, but they will feel it. Because your light is returning, and it is brighter than it has ever been. But with this return comes responsibility. You must not allow old wounds to reopen. You must not entertain apologies that come only when your radiance becomes undeniable. Forgiveness does not mean access. Closure does not require a reunion. You are not here to prove yourself to those who denied your worth. You are here to embody your worth so fully, so unapologetically, that it speaks for itself. And this is the deeper challenge now, Taurus, not just to receive justice, but to hold it, to stay in your frequency of truth when the false tries to creep back in, to maintain your clarity when confusion knocks again in familiar forms, to walk forward, not as a wounded warrior, but as a crowned healer, a queen of soil and soul whose roots are deep and unshakable. You will be tested, not by the same enemies, but by the shadows they left behind in your psyche, the doubt, the guilt, the fear of shining too brightly. These ghosts will try to pull you back into smallness. Don't let them. Instead, listen to the signs, to your dreams, to your body. Because the cosmos is not done speaking. The Rahu-Ketu transit that just began is unraveling spiritual knots that you couldn't access before. You might feel sudden clarity about past lives, ancestral burdens, or karmic debts you never understood. Things will click, patterns will shatter, and what once seemed like coincidence will now reveal itself as divine choreography. Let me say this clearly. Your abundance was not blocked because you lacked talent, beauty, or worth. It was blocked because someone, in physical or spiritual form, envied your essence. They worked subtly or openly to suppress your rise, but the season of suppression is over. You are under divine jurisdiction now, and Archangel Michael does not lose battles. That woman, the one who masked her venom with smiles, the one who mirrored you only to undermine you, she is being dismantled. Her spiritual infrastructure is collapsing, not because you cursed her, but because she misused the energy of creation. And creation is correcting her. This is why you must stay centered, Taurus, because the more chaos unravels outside you, the more peace must expand within you. Your time of begging is over. Your era of waiting is done. This is the season of divine invitations. You will not knock on doors. Doors will open at your feet, and what awaits you is not random, it's recompense. You'll notice it first in small ways. An unexpected message that feels like alignment, a financial opening that seems too easy to be real, a lover who looks at you and sees you, not the mask, not the potential, but the truth. These are not accidents. They are breadcrumbs from the divine, leading you toward the feast prepared in your honor. But be discerning. Not all returns are redemptive. Some people will come back only to test if you've really changed. If your boundaries are real or performative, do not waver. You are not a lesson to be repeated. You are a chapter that closed. And the next one is far more luminous. This chapter is called Reclamation. It is about remembering who you were before the world made you forget. Before life's rejections dented your confidence, before other people's fears were projected onto your dreams. It's about stepping into a room and no longer dimming your brilliance out of habit. It's about loving boldly, laughing freely, and choosing yourself without hesitation. And Taurus, this reclamation is not quiet, it is radiant. The cosmos wants you to walk like you're protected because you are. Speak like your words manifest reality because they do. Love like your heart is safe because now it is guarded by divine force. And know this, deep in your bones, no one can undo what is divinely done. What is yours is en route. What was lost is being restored. What was stolen is returning, multiplied. And what lies ahead is a life sculpted by truth, not fear. Taurus, you've crossed the threshold. The old has been burned away, and from its ashes, your true self rises. Not in silence, not in hesitation, but in full resplendent power. This is not simply a new chapter, it is a new realm. One where you no longer strive to be understood, but stand rooted in your essence, unshaken and unapologetic. And now, the universe begins to deliver what was always meant for you. This is your sacred inheritance. If your heart is stirring, Taurus, it's because this message was meant for you. Let your journey be witnessed. Subscribe now to stay aligned with every divine update and share in the comments how this truth is unfolding in your life. This isn't just guidance, it's your confirmation. Let me speak of love, first and foremost. Because for too long your heart has been a battlefield, loyal to a fault, open even when bruised, trusting even when warned. You gave love not in pieces, but in full, and in return you were handed silences, betrayals, or half versions of what your soul truly needed. But those days are ending. Why? Because you've changed the frequency of your heart. You no longer attract what matches your wounds. You now draw what honors your healing. That person who sees through the noise, who doesn't need to be convinced of your worth, that love is near. And if it is someone from your past, know this, they return not as they were, but reborn. Because your energy no longer accepts the old story. And if it's someone new, they arrive not to complete you, you are already whole, but to witness your glow and protect it like sacred fire. This is love without performance, love without strategy, love without punishment. And yes, you might resist at first because your soul has been trained to guard the gates. But open them, Taurus. Let this love in, not because you need it, but because you deserve it. And as your heart expands, so too will your abundance. You have been walking under the weight of spiritual interference. There are those who feared your light so much they tried to dim it, not through strength, but through subtle sabotage. Words spoken in shadows, prayers twisted in resentment, doubt cast like a net around your goals. But they forgot one thing: Taurus is earth, and earth cannot be owned. It renews itself endlessly. Your money begins to move again. Your ideas gain traction. Your voice finds resonance in places where it was once ignored. The channels of prosperity are unblocking not because of luck, but because the energy that once distorted them is now powerless. The woman who tried to chain your path with fear, with spells, with projections, she is now witnessing your rise, and it terrifies her. But this isn't about her anymore. Her chapter is closed. She will watch, but she won't touch. She will regret, but she won't be redeemed. Because what she tampered with was sacred, and sacred things are not to be played with. You are stepping into a season of restoration, where the seeds you planted in silence bloom in public. The silence you endured is now your shield. The pain you processed is now your fuel. You will no longer chase. Opportunities will chase you, not because you are performing, but because your vibration is unmistakable, healed, whole, and holy. And with this restoration comes clarity, sharp, piercing, undeniable. You'll begin to see people not for what they say, but for what their energy reveals. You'll no longer be confused by mixed signals. The fog of emotional manipulation is lifting. Your third eye awakens not just as intuition, but as divine sight. You will know who is for you. You will know who is still trying to gain access without deserving it. And you will not hesitate anymore. Because now you are walking not just with confidence, but with divine backing. You're not just making choices, you're making decrees. You're not just setting boundaries, you're building temples. You're not just hoping for better, you are better, and everything around you must now adjust. You will see people react. Some will fall away because they were never aligned, only attached. Others will rise to meet you, surprised but willing to grow. Let them, but do not shrink. Not for anyone, not anymore. Taurus, this inheritance is not the end. It is the middle of your ascension. You've proven yourself in silence. Now the divine proves itself in your favor. What comes next is too big for fear, too sacred for shame, and too powerful to be stopped. Taurus, we have reached the moment in your journey where fate no longer whispers. It speaks aloud with the voice of the eternal. The universe is no longer subtle with you because your soul no longer tolerates subtlety. You have crossed thresholds that only the bravest reach, and now the veil thins between the seen and the unseen. This is the revelation phase, the time where divine secrets unfold not as riddles, but as truth made flesh. Everything you've been through has not just been preparation, it's been consecration. Your path was never ordinary. That's why ordinary solutions never worked for you. You have been trained by loss, tempered by isolation, refined through betrayal, not to make you bitter, but to make you chosen. Now look closely at your life. Look at the repeating patterns that have haunted your footsteps, the same types of people, the same emotional loops, the same sense of almost but not quite. This was the karmic wheel, spinning until you finally said, no more. And you did. You've ended a cycle so old it may have begun lifetimes ago. You are not just healing your story, you are liberating your lineage. This month, the cosmos is not only supporting you, it is clearing your way. The Sun-Uranus conjunction in your sign on May 17th will break open the locks. This energy is explosive in its potential. It may feel disorienting, like the ground beneath you is shifting, but it is. Because the foundation you now walk on is true. No more false supports, no more illusions disguised as love or security. This energy pushes you into alignment with your soul's contract. If something falls away, let it. It was not part of your destiny. If something appears suddenly, trust the timing. It is not random, it is coded for this exact hour. And in this light, your purpose reveals itself. You were not sent here to please. You were not born to be understood by the masses. You are a stabilizer of worlds, a root system in a forest of fleeting winds. Your voice carries the vibration of truth. Your presence heals what others cannot name. Even in silence, you transmit wisdom. That is why others have envied you, because they could feel your power even when you couldn't yet see it. But now you do. You're beginning to remember that pull you feel towards certain places, people, or passions. It's not random. It's your soul compass reactivating. You may feel drawn to spiritual studies, to healing arts, to writing, to teaching, to guiding others through pain you once didn't think you'd survive. Follow that pull. Your pain was not wasted. It was your preparation. And now the divine is commissioning you. You may begin to receive messages through dreams, through signs, through moments of eerie clarity. Trust them. Keep your spiritual channels open. Archangel Michael walks with you still, sword drawn, not to protect you from threats, but to ensure your forward motion is unhindered. He knows your mission now, and so do you. But understand this, Taurus. With great clarity comes the need for discernment. As your light grows, so does the interest of those who crave it, but not all who approach you deserve access. Some come not to walk beside you, but to siphon what they do not wish to earn. You must guard your space as sacred ground. Not all love is pure, not all attention is divine. Let your energy be the gatekeeper now. If someone drains you, they are not aligned. If something makes you question your worth, it is not from spirit. The divine revelation also includes the understanding that your life is your altar. Every choice, every relationship, every word you speak is an offering. Ask yourself daily, is this aligned with who I am becoming? Let that be your compass. Not fear, not obligation, but resonance. You will soon feel a shift in your body, a greater lightness, deeper breaths, sharper vision. This is your nervous system recalibrating to a life of less survival, more presence. You are being prepared to lead, not by position, but by vibration. You are becoming a lighthouse, and lighthouses do not chase. They stand unwavering, and the lost find them. Taurus, you are no longer lost, you are found, and now others will find themselves through you. Taurus, as the divine narrative reaches its final pages, a sacred truth emerges. This was never just about survival. It was never about enduring what others imposed on you. It was about preparing you for a throne long promised, a sovereignty long delayed. And now, heaven has released the final seal. Your time has come, not to begin a new story, but to rein in the one that has always been yours. Let it sink into your bones. You are no longer being rebuilt. You are being enthroned. This isn't metaphorical. This is energetic. You will notice how people respond to your presence with newfound reverence, not because you've changed your appearance, but because your frequency now commands respect. You will no longer be overlooked. The power you once diluted to make others comfortable now radiates unchecked. Your aura is untamed, your soul is crowned. But this crowning is not a fantasy. It is a call to responsibility. The spiritual realm has entrusted you with influence because you have proven yourself through fire, through silence, through restraint. When others cursed, you prayed. When others manipulated, you released. When others demanded revenge, you chose grace. That is why you lead now. And here is the prophecy. You will build what no one before you could. You will heal what generations suffered in silence. You will speak what others buried in shame. Your presence will liberate not only yourself, but those still trapped in fear. And you will do it without force, without shouting, without apology, because the divine has already spoken through you. Now, a word on the legacy of pain. It is no longer yours. You do not owe it to anyone to carry what has been passed down in broken lines. You are the interruption. You are the one who turns generational wounds into wisdom. You are the final bearer of a burden that ends with your breath. As Rahu and Ketu move across the heavens, old karmas dissolve in your name. You will not be haunted. You will not repeat. You are writing in a new ink now, one blessed by clarity, guided by truth, sealed by the hand of the divine. That's why the old timelines are collapsing. That's why people from your past feel distant now. They cannot follow. They are not written in this new chapter. Let them go. You are not abandoning them. You are choosing yourself. And now, Taurus, it is time to claim all that has waited. The abundance that once slipped through your fingers will now stay, because your vibration no longer repels it with fear or guilt. The love that once felt impossible will now arrive, pure, present, and prepared, because your heart has been made ready. The vision that once felt too big for you now fits perfectly, because you have grown into its shape. But here is the secret most never learn. Your greatest success will not be external. It will be how you wake up without dread, how you speak without apology, how you rest without guilt, how you love without losing yourself. These are the victories of the healed, and you, Taurus, are healed. You may still feel echoes of your past, but they no longer hold power. You may still face challenges, but they no longer define you. You may still walk alone at times, but you are never without guidance, because now the divine walks with you, not as a distant idea, but as a felt presence. Every breath you take from this point forward is a declaration of sovereignty. You will no longer justify your worth. You will no longer explain your glow. You will no longer make space for what drains. Your yes will be holy, your no will be final, and your path will be unmistakable, that of a soul returned to its throne. And when the world looks upon you in awe, wondering how you rose from so much pain, you'll smile, not with arrogance, but with peace. Because you will know the truth, you did not rise alone. You were carried by angels, guided by stars, blessed by tears that watered the soil of your destiny. Taurus, your kingdom is not in the sky. It is here, it is now, and it is yours. Now that this message has reached the depths of your being, it's time to seal this moment. Subscribe so you never miss another divine transmission crafted for your soul's awakening. And if you feel it, speak it. Drop a comment affirming, "I receive what the universe has kept for me." This is your sacred declaration. Let it echo. Now that this message has reached the depths of your being, it's time to seal this moment. Subscribe so you never miss another divine transmission crafted for your soul's awakening. And if you feel it, speak it. Drop a comment affirming, "I receive what the universe has kept for me." This is your sacred declaration. Let it echo.